Narayana. Hari Om, and good morning from Orlando. Vadha means killing. Avadha means non-violence. So Vadha means killing, Avadha means non-violence. Our katha right now is taking place in Ayodhya. Ayodhya is a place that is unattackable. There is no Vadha, it is only Avadha. However, for the one who is balahina, the one who is weak, if you think of a city that's weak with its infrastructure, weak with its military, then what happens in such a city is that they actually attack themselves. There's civil unrest within that city itself. And it's easy for outsiders to come and attack also. That's the katha part. The adhyatma part is our world within filled with vadha or avadha? Are we Ayodhya, where we are unattackable, or we are balahina, that we keep attacking ourselves? We keep allowing others to attack us. And if I can present this in a very real way, when someone insults you and you're offended by that, that is being balahina. We are allowing someone else to attack us. But the point there is that we've given permission to them to attack us. Because someone else can insult you and you may not take that to be offensive, and another person does and you take it to be offensive. You see how that resistance is on and off. But it's up to you. We give permission, we give approval to others to make us feel small. And for all of those who are immersed in Vedanta and Ramayana, this is the slogan to be remembered: self-development or self-destruction. Those are your options. You choose self-development, there will be no self-destruction. If you don't choose self-development, there will be self-destruction. That would be a nice sattvic bumper sticker. Self-development or bust. If any of you ends up making that, I would like a portion of those royalties to come towards the Vichara Gurukula. Okay? I'm not going to do it, but I'm giving you permission to do so. Jaya and Vijaya have become incarnations of Ravana and Kumbhakarna. Bhagavan Narayana has come to protect Jaya and Vijaya, Ravana and Kumbhakarna. Jalandhara, his wife cursed Bhagavan Vishnu to become Rama. Narada cursed Bhagavan Vishnu to become Rama. Manu and Shatarupa, they prayed for Bhagavan Vishnu to become their child. Pratapa Bhanu and Arimardana, they became Ravana and Kumbhakarna, and Bhagavan had to come and help them. And last week, we studied how the Devatas, Indra, Vayu, Agni, they're all praying to Mother Saraswati to make Bhagavan Rama leave Ayodhya, to leave that place that is unattackable, to go to a place where there will be attack. Now, if you look at all of these episodes carefully, aren't all of these episodes being guided by Bhagavan? Jaya and Vijaya are Bhagavan's guards. Jalandhara's wife's strength is from Bhagavan. Narada is Bhagavan's devotee. Manu and Shatarupa are incarnations of their Lord Brahma's kids. Pratapa Bhanu was a dharmic king. These devatas are praying to Mother Saraswati. Behind all of this is Bhagavan's grace. And if you can interpret this to your own life, there is no reason, there is no room for worry. There is no reason, there's no room to be afraid. Because behind every experience is Bhagwan's guidance. Bhagwan's hand is over us, which is why we should just bow down with our heads low, feeling Bhagwan's guidance. In Cleveland, we completed our Hanuman Saptaha. We spent 1 week reveling in Hanumanji. And if I can summarize this whole week in one half line, Tumarakchaka kahu ko darana. If you are the protector, and we say if, but it is you are the protector, then where is the reason, where is the room for fear? We continue. Right now, Raja Dashatha and Mother Kaikeyi are having a very intense dialogue. Where are they right now? Kopa Bhavana. They're in a room for conflict management. They have the conflict room in the White House, right? Something like that. See, that came from Sanatana Dharma also. And remember what I said? Now every room in our house is Kopa Bhavana. The bathroom, the garage, our cars. We have mobile Kopa Bhavanas now. So Mother Kaikeyi and Raja Dashatha are in this Kopa Bhavana. And Mother Kaikeyi has told Raja Dashatha the only way for her to be less Kopa. But for someone who's angry by nature, they only go more and less angry. What happens is elaborated now. I'm on the 41st section of Chaupais. I'm reading the first and second line of the Doha, which is on page 276. So section 41, the Doha on page 276. This is what Bhagwan says. Bhagwan Rama is brought into the Kopa Bhavana. I'll explain. Muni Gana Milanu Biseshi Bana Sabahi Bhati Hita Mora Tehi Maha Pitu Ayasu Bahuri Sammamta Janani Tora. Bhagwan Rama says, if I get to go to the Vana, I'll get to meet the Munis and all of the people with the Munis. Sabahi Bhati Hita Mora. This is so beneficial to me. And on top of that, I'll get to obey the Ayasu of my Pitta. I'll get to fulfill your words to Janani. So Bhagwan's response to Mother Kaikeyi's boons. Now let's look into this more carefully. Mother Kaikeyi's first request is that Bharata becomes installed, what they call as the Prince Regent, the Yuvaraja. When she says this, Raja Dashatha doesn't shake at all. He's fine with that. But then what she asks is, I'll read this to you. This is the exact line for the second boon, okay? And just for your own reference, and you should know this too, this is in the 29th section of Chaupais. This is the first line of the second verse. Okay, 1, 2, 29. Tapasa besha biseshi udasi. My second boon, Rama should wear the clothes of a tapasvi. And udasi, he should live in the biseshi, in the vana. Chaudaha barasi ramu banabasi. And he should be there for 14 years. When Raja Dashatha hears this, he starts to beat his head. You know, when we go to Bhagwan Ganapati and we go like this, but we do it very symbolically, very gently, almost like a massage. But Raja Dashatha's beating beating his head. He feels like his most vital organs have been cut out. His heart has been cut out. His brain has been cut out. His liver has been cut out. His pancreas has been cut out. I'm just naming more parts, like I know there's more parts that are important in one's body. He tells KK, what you're asking, and he's only talking about the second boon. If you ask for this second boon, I will die. He feels like those vital organs are cut out. He's telling her, I will die. And KK, so corrupt, she retaliates saying, if the second boon is not fulfilled, I will die. So this is like a shotgun clause. Either you do it or I do it, but not both of us. So either you die or I die. And think about what she's putting on him. He's obviously not going to allow her to die, right? That will make matters even worse. Such corruption coming from KK. And he knows that she's not going to stop. So he tells her, he actually narrates the whole future. He says that Sri Bharata will never agree to what you're asking. He is going to hate you, and all of the people forever are going to point to your faults, to your crookedness. And he's already said that I'm going to die. So he says all of this, and then he falls unconscious. Morning time comes. Okay, this is all happening at the end of the night when Raja Dasharatha had this sankalpa. Please remember the picture. He went to Rishi Vashishta. Rishi Vashishta said, the day Lord Rama becomes the Yuva Raja is the auspicious day. Raja Dasharatha says, we'll do it tomorrow. He goes for pleasure. He's a lustful person, even though his name is Dasharatha, the one who has self-control. But that one weakness of lust, he's going to KK's palace. And this is all happening in a short period of time. Now, traditionally, Raja Dasharatha never used an alarm clock because they didn't have electricity back then or batteries. How Raja Dasharatha and everyone was awoken was to chanting, to bhajans. There would be bards outside of his room and they would sing, Uttishta Raja. You know, what a cool alarm clock, you know? These sweet sounds of, you are great, we need your help. That should become your raw. You should ask the person sleeping next to you to whisper those things in your ear. I need you so much. I love you. So the bards were there. They started saying, today's an auspicious day. Bhagwan Rama will become the king. But nobody opened the door. Raja Dasharatha is unconscious, correct? So the people, and there's such discipline in the kingdom, it's making me nervous just talking about it. They knew something was not right. But it's Raja Dasharatha. They can't just go in there and bang on the door. You have to go to school now. Get up. So they send Sumantra. Sumantra is like the chief of staff to the president. So Sumantra goes in there and he is nervous because he knows, as someone who knows Raja Dasharatha well, what's happening is unbecoming. His heart is beating. He's sweating. And when he goes to KK, she just sort of dismisses him. Like he sees her and he knows that I have to look for Raja Dasharatha. And then he sees Raja Dasharatha. And when he saw him, Goswamiji describes that whole scene like there's a monster that's there that's about to consume everyone. The way that I envision this, like a haunted house. Raja Dasharatha, Mother KK, this Kopa Bhavana, this palace, where there's supposed to be Ayodhya, to be unattackable, but it all appeared to be a haunted house. And Raja Dasharatha was unconscious, so Sumantra couldn't even talk to him. So he asked KK then, Mother KK, what's happening here? And she said, the last words that came out of Raja Dasharatha's mouth before he fell unconscious was, Ram, Ram. So she says, I think you should go get Ram. So Sumantra, feeling that is the right thing to do, he quickly goes to Bhagwan Rama's palace. And everyone's watching from the outside. So their feeling is becoming more intense. And when Bhagwan Rama sees him, Sumantra too, saying, your father is calling you, which is unusual, then he, not even fully ready, he in an unbecoming way rushes after Sumantra to go to Raja Dasharatha where he is. So again, people are seeing this too, which is so unusual. And then Raja Dasharatha, who's just saying Ram, Ram, he's unable to speak to Bhagwan Rama. So Bhagwan Rama goes to Mother Kaikeyi and says, why is my father in this condition? What has happened here? And she says those boons again, that your father has asked for Bharata to become the Yuvaraja. And Bhagwan Rama was so happy. And then the second boon, that you should dress in simple clothing, that you should live in the forest for 14 years, and you should not have any relationship with the world. In other words, you can't go to a city. And he was even happier. That's what I just told you, that he says he can have more satsang, that he can listen to his father, listen to his mother. So that's some of the katha. Now I'll get into some of the adhyatma part, the subjective part. When Kaikeyi is telling Raja Dasharatha about these boons, he, in one line, says, I do not blame you for what you're asking. I do not blame you. I know, and in such scriptures they use the word providence a lot. Providence in simple terms is fate. I know fate has taken over your mind, has possessed you, which is why you're asking of these boons. He did not blame Mother Kaikeyi. And though he may be very frustrated and cranky and saying whatever words, inside of him, he knew that there was a bigger picture to why all of this is happening. And if you and I can follow the same, we could be frustrated. We can say, why me? But if inside of your heart, tumarakchaka ka ho ko darana, it will prove to be much better for us. How Raja Dasharatha is when he hears these boons reminded me so much of Prince Arjuna. Now, lots of you are studying in the Bhagavad Gita course, and we spent ample time seeing the outer and inner condition of Prince Arjuna. Raja Dasharatha is the same way. His skin is burning. His mouth is so dry. He's seeing things. He falls unconscious. Isn't it that Prince Arjuna says, not only will I not fight, I will not speak. He was conscious yet unconscious. Raja Dasharatha just went to more of an extreme and became unconscious. And if you pay close attention to this, Prince Arjuna was always relatively protected because right in front of him at all times was Bhagwan Krishna. In Raja Dasharatha's case, Bhagwan Rama is not in front of him, it is Kaikeyi. Bhagwan Rama comes in temporarily and then Bhagwan Rama leaves. So there's a point where Raja Dasharatha stays unconscious and he dies. And you all know that, and we will discuss that. I just wanted to highlight that if Bhagwan is in front of us, then we will always be protected. We may fall, but we'll still be protected. It's like having a home where you have an infant. You will protect the sharp corners. You will protect anything that's dangerous. So that infant is protected, but you won't shelter them from everything, right? If there's a carpet there, you're not going to do anything. So if we keep Bhagwan in front of us, we will be protected, not sheltered. We will be encouraged to grow. But if Bhagwan's not in front of us, if parents are not looking after that infant, those sharp corners, those poisonous chemicals, the front door being open, none of that will be addressed, correct? So Raja Dasharatha didn't have what Prince Arjuna had. When Bhagwan Rama saw his father, what's described is that was the first time he had ever seen sorrow. Until then, he had never seen sorrow. Very much like Prince Siddhartha's story, no? Bhagwan Rama, and I'll talk about this more in a couple of weeks, because we're not going to let him leave yet. But when Bhagwan Rama does leave Ayodhya, he's 17 years old. So now you think of all the 17-year-olds, that's like going away to university, correct? But they just go to university. He went to the forest for 14 years. And what is described is it was the first time he saw sorrow. He didn't know what to do. However, he remained calm and did what was needed of him. He talked to Mother Kaikeyi. He tried to talk to Raja Dasharatha. He didn't escape. That's a very important point, that he never let that sorrow make him irresponsible. When we were studying this, Guruji, Swami Tejomayananda, had brought out what real education is. So please pay careful attention to this. All of our Balavihar administrators, make notes on this. Because this is what people who don't attend Balavihar should know about. Real education is that which keeps you balanced. Real education is that where you find good even in that which is bad. Now you tell me, when you go to universities, when you go to high schools, see, we have Fairfield with us. Yale University is there, one of the best in the world. Do they teach that at Yale? To stay balanced, to find the good and the bad? Probably not. That's just me being polite, saying no. That's what real education is. This line where Bhagwan Rama is speaking to Mother Kaikeyi, he says, if these two boons are allowed, four levels of fulfillment will manifest. So here are these 4 levels of fulfillment, if these two boons are allowed. Number 1, I will be able to fulfill my father's wish. Yes? Number 2, I will be able to fulfill your wish. Number 3, I will be able to fulfill my want for Shri Bharata to become the king. And number 4, my wish for more satsang and more seva will also be fulfilled. So by this happening, father, mother, brother, and society, everyone will be fulfilled. Now in all of this, what's most important? He never thought about himself. That's what it means to be balanced. The more selfish you are, the more imbalanced you are. The more selfless you are, the more support you have. And goodness, his stepmother, they use the word stepmother, is asking him of all of this. But what does he call her? I don't know if you caught that word. He calls her Janani. Janani means the one who gives birth. Did Kaikeyi give birth to Bhagwan Rama? He did not. She did not, sorry. But he still saw the good in the bad. Good? Everyone's enjoying? Everyone's following what I'm saying? Okay. Now I'm just going to speak a little bit more. We're going to take up one more chopai, and then we'll shift to our discussion. I'm on the 57th section of chopais. 57th section of chopais. I'm going to read the doha again. Line 1 and 2 of the doha, which is on page 286. The last doha I read, who was speaking? Bhagwan Rama was speaking. This doha, Mother Sita is speaking. We haven't heard from Mother Sita in a long time, so I thought we must hear from her too. It's not very pleasant, but life isn't very pleasant all the time. So she says, Samacharatehi samaya suni. Then when she hears this samachara, when she hears this news, in India they call it samachara, right? They should just call it gossip. When you watch Indian news, they don't tell you the news. It's just flashy gossip. Who knows if what they're saying is true? Siya uti akulai. And where she was, she immediately stood up and she felt not at ease. She was uncomfortable. Jai sasu pada kamala juga. She went to her sasu. Rare, no? She went to her mother-in-law. And she went to her pada. How does she describe her pada? Kamala. Everyone's shut their minds down already. That this is not real. She went to Mother Kaushalya and sat at her soft feet. Bande bheti sirunai. And she bowed her head. So this is what Mother Sita does when she hears of this news. Now I'll describe some more. When Kaikeyi had shared these boons with Bhagwan Rama, and he said, this will be the most fulfilling request of yours, he said, Mother, there's one part in this whole experience that I don't understand. And that is, why is my father sad? My father isn't lost in trivialities, but why is he unconscious? Why does he keep saying Ram? And he says, it must have been something that I've done. I must have behaved in such a way to hurt my father, which is why he keeps saying Ram. How beautifully we see that Bhagwan Rama, even though not his fault, accepts that this is his fault. And that's what big people have to do. We're having a retreat in London soon called Being the Bigger Person. This is a Devi retreat because Devis tend to have the mindset to be the bigger person. Devis pride themselves on being the bigger person. Devas pride themselves on being the smaller person. So Bhagwan Rama says, it's my fault. And he looks to his father and says, Father, ask, but ask with joy. You're asking with tears, do ask. It is an auspicious experience, but ask with joy. Raja Dasharatha couldn't do that. Bhagwan leaves that room and he's just wandering through the palace, unsure of to go to his room and get ready, unsure of whether he should speak to his mother, how is it going to affect her, unsure of going to speak to Mother Sita, how is it going to affect her. And when he left that room, and Sumantra was there too, the rest of the kingdom found out definitively what had happened. And how Goswamiji describes this, he says, I'll read it to you in English. This most unwelcome news spread throughout the city as though the sting of a scorpion had circulated its poison throughout the body. If something stings you and it's going to spread, it only hurts in a small place, but then it's spread. The way that Raja Dasharatha beat his head and his heart, and we see in Indian movies where they break their bangles, that's what everyone was doing. Like they were all trees and a forest fire was coming at them. See, they were in shock. That it's a done matter, but for one to actually experience that takes time. But they saw the forest fire coming. And this news went to Kaushalya Mata. This news went to Sri Lakshmana. And in our specific context, it went to Mother Sita. And she just did not know what to do. She was just uncomfortable. And she goes to what's assured to her. She couldn't also go to Bhagwan Rama because he's leaving. How do you look at it? You were married just a little while and now he's leaving for 14 years. And she knows he's going to leave. Raghukula Niti. So she goes to Mother Koshalya and just bows her head.